Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report with Seth Tierney, the head coach of Hofstra Men's Lacrosse. Morning, Coach. How are you today?
Morning, Nick.
Good to see you, Coach. Thanks for joining us. You guys had a 1-1 week last week, a home loss to Binghamton on Tuesday, followed up by a home win on Saturday to Manhattan. How would you say the team has been feeling? You know, with the 3 games in 8 days, they went in the loss to Villanova, the loss to Binghamton, and then coming back with the win against Manhattan.
Yeah, I mean, I think that certainly the losses hurt. The mistakes that we need to fix are certainly fixable. And some of it could take time. It's not what the coaches want. It's not what the players want. It's not what the fans want. But it could take a little bit of time.
I want fixes now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, we're working on that. It's almost trying to fast forward some, maturity on the field. And sometimes that can backfire if you fast forward it too quick outside of getting a good base down. So all in all, I thought that, we handled the losses well, even though we didn't want them. And then going into the Manhattan game, I thought we played pretty solid, both ends of the field. We obviously would have loved to have more goals. But I think with that, with what we have and how it's working, I think that was a good quality win for us. I mean, Manhattan is a very good team with a very good goalie and coached very well and got players in all the spots. So that was a good win. And then, again, continuing to battle some injury stuff. And it's real, but it's real with a lot of people. And we're just going to continue to push forward. There's no sense hitting any panic buttons. Some of these things are just, we meet every day. Guys are working hard every day. And the guys that are out on the field, they're trying to get better. The guys that are in the training room, they're trying to get better. And again, the goal is then to hopefully get it as much together as we can as the conference starts in a couple of weeks. But we know we've got a couple of huge games coming up. This first one coming up this weekend versus Rutgers.
Yeah, that Rutgers game, like you said, it's going to be massive. But I kind of want to go back to the Manhattan game.
Sure.
Only 4 goals allowed. It's the lowest amount of goals allowed by Hofstra in quite a while. Only 1 goal allowed in that second half. Like another very strong second half performance by Mac Gates and the defense. Mm-hmm. What, with the addition of, I think, of Brian McIntosh has been massive. He's 4th in the country in caused turnovers per game. He leads the conference in caused turnovers per game. What else have you seen from the defense going from 2021 into 2022 that allows for the defensive performance to have such a change?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that Coach Corman's done a wonderful job with those. We've had some changes, right? So, if we look back, some of the changes are a short stick midi that left us in Dom Pryor that had a 5th year. If he was out there, he would just be another older guy, mm-hmm. especially when we're playing against Rutgers, who's a pretty older team going in right now. Keegan Santos, has an unbelievable job offer, and he could have had his 5th year with us. Now if Keegan's out there with Brian McIntosh and Ford and Hegarty, then, you become a little bit tighter, right? So, those are some of the what ifs that the transfer portal and the opportunities that, sometimes they can work out for you and sometimes they don't work out for you. On the other side of things, the injury front, both our first and second long stick midfielder in Charlie Rago and Danny Oakes haven't played in quite some time. And Richie Hickus has got an injury that has kept him out as well. So to hold that team to 4, like you said, one of those goals being man up. So 3 6-on-6 type goals. I think you probably saw some of the anger of the results of the last 2 games. And this is a game. It's a helmet sport. You got to play with a focus. You got to play with a little bit of anger. And when those 2 things come together, with Mac playing pretty well, that's a good sign. Let's not forget. And you'll see how this whole thing is almost like Jenga. It all fits together. When Chase Patterson doesn't lose a faceoff in the second half, you play less defense, which now is a little bit more of a positive thing for your formula of success. We've struggled at the faceoff X to go, whatever we went in, to go undefeated in facing off in the second half. Well, that gave us more possessions in the second half. It gave them less possessions so that we were fresher when we had to face the possessions. And Mac was on, he was on, and as well as the defense. So it all kind of fits together. And that's the scenario. When one of these things is out of whack, then you've got to find a different formula to win. And those formulas are, well, we're struggling in this spot. We're young in this spot. We're injured in this spot. So we're trying to get those things to come in and fix the recipe so that we can be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, it's just like a team is kind of like an engine. One part of the engine isn't working, the whole thing doesn't work.
No question.
And yeah, we'd like to see more goals. Fans would like to see more goals from the Hofstra offense, but holding a team to 4 goals in a game and having that success at the faceoff, that alleviates a lot of the problems. And it's great to see that when Hofstra's winning faceoffs, the defense doesn't expend as much energy. You have the ball more. Hofstra was winning the ground ball battle and had that all snowballs into a Hofstra win.
There's no question. I mean, listen, and there's some stats that we walk out of a game earlier in the season and we win every stat column except the wins and the win and loss column, right? So, you have to look into that after each game and go, hey, I know it was a loss. I know it's going to be hard to take, but let's just look at this. We did out-ground ball. We've asked them to out-ground ball. And we did a good job here, did a good job there. Not all of this is negative, especially with a group that is new and facing some inconsistencies in the lineup. Let's just stay with them and go forward. Easier said than done. And again, we have, the fans, they don't see the behind the scenes stuff. They come here for a 2-hour period and they see what we put out on the field. And I understand it. And they want a great product. But I think everybody knows we're working really hard to get guys back on the field. We're working really hard to make sure that we're getting better than we were yesterday. Yeah, absolutely. I think even if the fans are only there for those 2 hours that you said on Saturdays or whatever day the game is on, on us, me being there at practice when I can, and you being there, and the coaches being there every day at practice, we see the improvement. We see the guys putting in the work. Would we like the goals, more goals? Yes, who wouldn't? But right,
that's it's a different team. It's a different team, and the guys that you do have, they're putting in a lot of the effort. They're putting in the hard work, and the results will come.
No question, they're working hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of going back to what you started off with, this week's opponent, it's probably your toughest test of the season, non-conference wise. Number 8 Rutgers, they're 7-1 on the year, number 8 in the country. They're just coming off an absolute thumping of Lafayette on Tuesday after losing to Princeton over the weekend. What have you seen from Rutgers in your scouting? And how does the team match up with the Scarlet Knights?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is going to be a great matchup, a great opportunity for us to play a team that is older. They got a couple of 24, 23-year-olds that are out there running around, 5th-year guys, transfer guys that are playing very well together. They got a great goalie. They play with energy. They're athletic. And again, it is Villanova, all over again with some of these players that are really talented. I think we've got a good game plan. It's just, will we be able to execute it? We need to make sure that everything comes together. And again, we're playing a team that is very talented. So I'm enjoying the opportunity. I think it's a great test for us. And I think that, ultimately, I don't know what the result will be on Saturday afternoon, but I do know that after the game, we are going to be more prepared for our conference going forward. If it's a win, then that's great. If it's a hard-fought game, then that's great. Whatever it is, I'm not here to lose, but I am here for, these are the games that nobody knew that if Rutgers was going to be a top 5, top 10 team when we played them, and last week before the Princeton game, they were number 3 in the country, right? So whatever Princeton's solid as well. So we're looking forward to this opportunity. Everything's, when you play a team like this, everything needs to come together. We got to face off well. The wing play has got to be great. We got to defend. Mac's got to have a day. Offensively, we got to be disciplined, and we got to put away when we get those opportunities. We got to put them away. We got to clear the ball. We got to ride hard. Like all those little pieces to the Jenga, all those little pieces have to be solid in the tower.
Easier said than done when all those things happen. You get the win. It's going to be an exciting match for a game for everyone to view on Saturday at 1 p.m. Hofstra welcomes number 8 Rutgers. The game will be on the MLAX Sports Network. WRHU, the Hofstra Alternative Web channel, will also carry audio-only broadcast of Saturday's game. Follow everything you can on Hofstra men's lacrosse and all of Hofstra athletics at gohofstra.com. For head coach Seth Tierney, I am Nick Capitos, and thank you for joining us for yet another WB Mason Coaches Report.